If we look at how companies typically track resources and allocate resources inside of their own environments, people would say that most of the time they probably think that it takes too long to get resources. And a lot of times they have to have a project in place in order to get those resources, or they have to budget appropriately, or else they may be short on those resources. This is because I actually have to pay up front for my resources. So I have to budget how long it's going to take me to get those resources, as well as how much cash I'm going to have to outlay to get those resources. And I only want to buy those resources once, so I don't have to go back to the well and ask for more resources later on, because that's just going to start the process all over again. In this example on the right, I can see that my end user is only going to use a small amount of resources in the first time allocation. And then in the second time allocation, they're actually going to use even less. But in the third allocation, they're going to use a lot of resources. The problem is that it takes my IT department too long to respond to new requests. So I need to actually buy the amount of resources in the third time allocation all the way to the right, because I don't have time to order those extra resources in T2 and get them by T3. So here I'm spending more money than I need to for the first couple months, because in the third month I'm going to need a ton of resources, but those resources are going to sit unused for the first 2 months. Based on the way that most IT departments are operating, this is another leg up for cloud. First of all, cloud is faster. I can use a smaller amount of resources for the first month and the second month, and then order the amount of resources that I need for the third month, because they're going to come on demand. The best part about this is I only pay for the resources that I need at any given time. And then when I need more resources, I can pay for that, but I don't have to outlay the cash right away. And because they've built their business model on charging people per use, this is very closely monitored and controlled and reported, so I can go back to my company and let them know exactly what my month-to-month budget is. If you're like me, you're starting to see a trend here, and you're starting to see why people want to move towards private cloud. Please join me for the next lesson, 11.8, Understanding Software as a Service.